What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Monday, people. Hope you are all well. Another victory for Arsenal this weekend, and they remain top of the league. And not a lot changed this weekend, to be honest, for us, with Liverpool and Manchester City winning. We'll go through the weekend's action, and we'll talk about one or two other things as well. We'll go over the game, and we'll look ahead to the Slavia Prague game, people, which is tomorrow, actually. Quick turnaround. 5:45 kickoff UK time, so I'll be live at 4:45 for that one. Big up to everyone. Apologies, man. Yeah, that was poor from me. 5 minutes late. That's not good. It's not good. I can't lie. Yeah, and I don't even have an excuse. You know, sometimes you just got to say, I was late. I was thinking then, nah, I'm not even going to do you the disservice of saying, oh, it was this, it was that. There was nothing. I was late. It's that simple. But big up to everyone. And another big week, international break after this weekend. Another one, people, which I'm not looking forward to. Although it is a big one because Jamaica could qualify for the World Cup, so it could be a big one on the international scene. But yeah, you just don't want one, do you? Who wants another international break? Although this is the last one until March. So after this one, we've just got pure football for the next 3 or 4 months, which, you know, I think we'll all be happy with, people. I'm just bringing up a story, actually, that I wanted to bring up, and we will discuss that in a second. Hit the like button and subscribe, people, and make sure you hype up the video. I will try and get an OGs done with Turkish this week because we play on Tuesday. That then gives us Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We should be able to hopefully get one done. We play Sunderland Saturday. Yeah, so we'll try and get one done. But yeah, another international break. Again, I've said it before. I go along with what Wenger said. I think take 1 month out and get all the international games done. Get all of them done. Take a month break, whether it's October, November. Go away with your national team for 4 weeks. Play like Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. You're going to play, what, 7, 8, 9 games, whatever it would be, and then lock it off. 3 international breaks in 3 months. It's boring. Nobody wants to, you know, see all these breaks, man. It's boring. But listen, big up to everyone. Appreciate your support as always. Before we do start today's show, I think it's important that we big up an Arsenal legend, and that is Mr. Ian Wright. Happy birthday to man like Wrighty. And listen, I say this all the time. For me, Ian Wright is one of the most important players in the history of this football club. Do you know when you know you're getting old, people? Like, just in general. And it's not even us. Like, it's just life in general. I actually thought, it's Ian Wright's birthday. Let me check how old he is. Righty. Righty is 62 years of age. 62 years of age, people. How crazy is that? I don't know how old I thought he was, but I didn't think he was in his 60s. Right, he's 62 years of age, people. I mean, he has got grandkids, so that obviously should have been a bit of a giveaway, but I thought he was like 10 years younger than that. I don't know. But happy birthday to Ian Wright, one of the most important figures in Arsenal history. I bet there's a lot of people in this chat who support Arsenal because of Ian Wright. And listen, he's a top guy. I've met him a few times. He's a cool guy. I don't always agree with his football opinions, but what a player, what a character. Black don't crack. Yeah, for real, man. That water and cocoa butter, I'm telling you. Yo, big up Potsy. Is it Potsy's birthday as well? Big up Potsy on his birthday. I'm going to drop him a message. I didn't even know it was his birthday today. Big up Dan Potts on his birthday as well. And you share your birthday with a legend. Ian Wright, 62 years of age. Emmanuel, you are spot on. Where is the statue? How has Ian Wright not got a statue outside the Emirates? He is one of the most important figures in this club's history. He should have a statue. He's a giant of the football club. Ian Wright, 62 years of age. Big up Wrighty on his birthday. Another bit of surprising news as well is that a former player is training with the club. Don't worry, We're not signing him. Well, hopefully we're not signing him. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, people, is training with the Arsenal squad. Do you know what's funny? I remember when Ox and Walcott were at Arsenal. A lot of people were, Walcott was the most hyped one. I always preferred Ox. I thought he had more ability on the ball. Walcott was a better goal scorer, though. He obviously went to Liverpool, had the bad knee injury, kind of ruined his career. Career went downhill from there. He was released by Besiktas in the summer. He's got no club. And obviously, he's former teammates of Mikel Arteta. And he's obviously asked to train with the club, and Arteta is obliged. So, yeah, Oxlade-Chamberlain is training with Arsenal at the moment, people. SG, interesting. Why do you think Wright shouldn't get a statue? I'm always intrigued. SG. Huge figure in terms of what he did for the club. Neil said, happy birthday, Ian Wright. Happy 47th independence anniversary to the country of Dominica. A big part of my family history as well. So shout out all the Dominicans in the chat. Yeah, Ox is still the biggest sale officially. Sometimes they list it as Overmars. Sometimes they list it as Iwobi. But I believe it is still Oxlade-Chamberlain to Liverpool. 45 million. Apparently, he's training with the under-23s at the moment, but they're saying he may do some bits with the first team. Just to get up to speed and just to get up to a level where he can get himself a club. So, yeah, you will probably see Oxlade-Chamberlain in some videos and some pictures. Big up Marty Freeman, who said it's his birthday as well. Big up to you on your birthday. South London's finally said it's Jordan's birthday. Jordan, Loose Cannon Podcast, yeah? I'm assuming that Jordan, not Michael Jordan. Yeah, big him up, man. Big up Jordan on his birthday as well. I'll drop him a message. I had a lot of time for Ox. Yeah, Ox done us a bit dirty, to be fair, but there were rumours he left because we were playing him out wide and he was being played. He wanted to play in midfield. He said Gerrard was his idol. He went to Liverpool. He was playing. The injury done him. SG said to receive a statue, you have to be at the level of Omri, Bergkamp, and Adams of success. Vieira should get a statue. I think Wrighty is. I think he's on that level. To be honest, he may. I wouldn't put him ahead of like Omri in terms of ability, in terms of all-round game, but he won the league. He won the FA Cup. He won the Cup Winners' Cup. He won the League Cup. He was the club's top goal scorer of all time before Thierry Henry. He's got an OBE, an MBE. He's in the Premier League Hall of Fame. I mean, for me, there's not a lot of stones that he didn't turn over at this football club. The impact he had on the fan base, culturally as well. I'm telling you now, there are a lot of the black community support this club because of Ian Wright. So for me, Wrighty he's on the level of any of those names that you've just named, in my opinion, in terms of all-round impact. Ian Wright, for me, he's as big as Omri, Bergkamp, Adams, Vieira, all of them. He's an absolute icon of the club. I'll be honest, he genuinely is. But listen, I respect your opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion, but for me, Wrighty he's up there. He's up there. I'd take Vieira. For me, three statues should be outside that stadium that aren't there at the moment. Not everybody will agree with these. One is Ian Wright, for the reasons I just spoke about. One is Patrick Vieira, because Vieira was the absolute engine of this football club. Without the engine, the car doesn't move. Vieira was a colossus in midfield for us. The other one is George Graham. Now, not everybody agrees with that because he ended up as the Tottenham manager. But for me, George Graham, he built the foundations so that Arsene Wenger could move forward with the club. 89, he was the manager. He won the FA Cup. He won the Cup Winners' Cup. He built that back four. He signed players like Wrighty. So for me, George Graham as well should have one outside the stadium. No, Rich, no, I'm not just saying that Wrighty only influenced the black community, but it was I think very much a lot of the black community felt connected to Arsenal because of Ian Wright. Thought you would have said Almunia. I mean, they could build a statue of Almunia and we could just throw paint at it or something, But anyway, don't agree with Graham, tarnished his rep. Yeah, and I hear it. But, Rice is our new Vieira. He just needs to be our captain. Well, we need to win trophies. That's the main thing. There are a lot of players at this club now that you go, if Declan Rice showed, if he stayed at this club, Declan Rice, for the next 6 years, and we win 2 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, and a Champions League, he's a legend. You know, he's a legend of the football club. Saka could possibly become a legend. Saliba, Gabriel. There's probably 5 or 6 players at the moment you could go, if we went and won 5 trophies in the next 5 years, big ones, Timber could be the best right back we've seen at the club. If he wins them trophies, if he performs like this for the next 5 years, Declan Rice could be mentioned as, you know, a colossus of a midfielder for Arsenal. Saliba and Gabriel could be, you know, one of the best partnerships we've seen at Arsenal in years. It's all going to come down to the silverware and what happens over the next 5, 6, 7 years. So that's where we're at. George Graham 100% should have a statue. Yeah, I'll let slide what happened at Tottenham. He did so much for this club. I would let it go. Big up Retro Grill with a super sticker. Big up yourself. South London's finest, especially if they put that star above the badge. Yep, 100%. Southpaw stance. I hope in 10 years there's a heap of statues from this team. This team is capable of becoming iconic. It really is. But the trophies need to be there, people. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We'll do a preview for Slavia Prague towards the end. That will be at the end of the show, and we won't have press conference reaction because the press conference is later on today. Obviously, the team are traveling to Prague today. I believe it's about 6 p.m. this evening. So unfortunately, no press conference reaction. We might go live tomorrow afternoon and quickly get the waffle settings in. Big C, man, just love this bloke. Hey, I'm a good guy, people. I'm a good guy. Like, hype, and subscribe, says AirMax90. Big up yourself and do what he said. It makes sense. Oh, that could be a good one. Wright and Rocastle together. Yeah, that could be a good one, Retro Grill. I hear you on that. Big up. And Moran said, Big C deserves a statue. A status, you've said. Hey, listen, I'm happy with like and subscribe. In terms of, Chavoy said, remember Jamaica at side. If anyone here would like to reply for PayPal info. I am going to do international break. We're going to do a stream. And we're going to give everything that we can raise on that stream to Jamaica. And also, I will put all those links up for people in the UK of where you can donate things like clothes and food and things like that as well. Because listen, not everybody can afford to donate money, but you may have some tins of food in your cupboard that you can give away. You might have old clothes in the wardrobe that you're never going to wear. And I think it's important that we drive that sort of information as well. So yeah, we're going to do a stream next week. Hopefully, we can get the Jamaica stream, the 100K stream, and the member stream all in the international break. We're going to try, people. We're going to try. But the Jamaica one, we're definitely going to do that one first. So, yeah, let's do what we can. You wanted to say statue, but you said status. I hear you, Moran. I appreciate the thoughts anyway. You know, I appreciate the thoughts and the kind words. Right, let's move on. Right, his birthday. Oxley's training with Arsenal. And then we'll get talking about the news. We'll look back on the game, and then we'll look ahead to Slavia Prague. The big news that's come out this morning, people. The big news that has come out this morning is that Victor Gyokeres has missed training this morning with the group. Kepa also didn't train, but Gyokeres didn't train. He obviously came off injured at the weekend at half time. He put out apparently an Instagram post, and I don't know exactly what he said on there, but people were saying that he was basically indicating that he was fine. Let me try and see what he actually said. Gyokeres. What did he actually say in the words? I know he tweeted the picture. Great away win and great support. Let's keep going. Yeah, so actually it doesn't indicate anything that he's... People were saying, oh, he said he was all right. Well, he hasn't trained this morning. Hopefully it's precautionary, but I'm now thinking, what happens if he's not available tomorrow? I think people have to understand he's played a lot of football in a short period of time because of the Havertz injury. he would have been rotated in certain games, but because, Merino hasn't played up front much. So, yeah, interesting. Will he play tomorrow is what I'm thinking. And do we just bench him and maybe play Merino up front or Martinelli? Well, Martinelli's injured actually, so I think maybe we don't start him tomorrow. If he's okay, maybe you just bench him. But he's played a lot of football, and I think people have to understand as well, Sweden have got 2 make or break games in the international break, so he's probably going to play back-to-back 90 minutes for Sweden as well. This is a shame, by the way, because obviously as a striker, you want to get your numbers up. Burnley, I thought that first 45 minutes was his best 45 minutes in an Arsenal shirt. I know he only scored a tap-in, but his all-round game was fantastic. You're looking at Slavia Prague tomorrow and thinking he could score goals against them, and then Sunderland away at the weekend, which is a tricky game, but I still think we'll beat them. So I think you've got to be careful with starting him tomorrow. He does a lot of running, a lot of hard work, takes a lot of hits as well. You've seen the defenders. They're always wrestling him. So if he hasn't trained today, let's see if he travels. I would assume he might travel, but maybe leave him on the bench. He did rest last week. He was on the bench against Brighton in the Carabao Cup, although he was on the bench. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't start him. Big up my bro Hakeem. You got a membership now as well. He said, I wouldn't play him tomorrow. Nah, do you know what? I said this the other day in a conversation I was having with a friend. I said, at the moment, the 2 players that we cannot afford to get injured are probably, well, maybe 3. I would say Rice, Zubimendi and Gyokeres, because I don't think the like-for-like replacements are good enough. Merino would come in for Rice. That's not good enough. Norgard would come in for Zubimendi. That's not good enough. And at the moment, Merino would come in for Gyokeres. And I don't think that's good enough either. Where I actually think Mosquera could come in for 5 games for Saliba. I think Nkapie could come in for 5 games for Gabriel. I think Luis Skelly and Calafiori at left back. There's other players in other positions where you think, okay, the downgrade is not that big. Timber to Ben White is a bit of a drop at the moment, but if you get Ben White to the level that he's played at previously, he's not, a million miles away. He just looks quite rusty at the moment, Ben White. Doesn't seem to be in great form fitness-wise either. He looks a bit short. But, yeah, listen, Gyokeres for me, I would rest him tomorrow. We'll speak more about the team in the preview. And also whether Martinelli's going to be available, although we won't find that out until the press conference, which is out later. Big up to Neil. He said, according to my brother-in-law, most of the electrical grid in Mandeville is up and running. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Keros, Zubimendi has trained. But of course, Zubimendi is suspended for tomorrow's game. Now, I'll save this for the preview, but just to put this thought out there for you guys. Declan Rice is 1 yellow card away from suspension. Our next game after Slavia Prague in the Champions League is Bayern Munich. Now, Zubimendi's out tomorrow. Would you play Declan Rice or would you rotate him? Because I'm fearful of Rice missing the Bayern Munich game, and that game is a must-win game. If we beat Slavia Prague and beat Bayern Munich, we've basically qualified. But can we underestimate Slavia Prague and just go, yeah, Zubimendi's not playing, but don't play Rice? Personally, I wouldn't play him. I would not play him. I would put him on the bench and I would try not to bring him on at all. Could you play Luis Skelly in midfield? I think it's time we see that, I think Skelly would actually be perfect in that left 8 that Declan Rice plays. That's where I would play him. That's who I would play tomorrow, by the way. Because I saw the Norgard Merino midfield against Brighton and I didn't like it. Merino did a brilliant back heel and that kind of covered up a pretty average performance. But Slavia Prague, they drew 0-0 away with Atalanta. I don't think they're as bad as people think. But yeah, I probably wouldn't play Declan Rice. The 2 options that I would do, and one of you's just nailed them. No, not that one. That's 2 attacking. I would either go Norgard, Nwaneri and Eze. So you play with 1-6 and 2 creative midfielders and we just outscore them. Or I would play Norgard, Lewis Skelly, and then either play Waneri or Eze in the 10. So you've got your double pivot and attacking midfielder. But I don't like the Marino Norgard midfield. I'm not a fan of it. It's too slow. Wayne Matty says, big me up, Big C. I'm top of the Curtis Shaw FPL. Yo, I love that. I love that. I'm definitely not top of that league. That is for certain. I've had some stinkers in the last few weeks, man. It's not happening for me. It's not happening for me. I'd love to say I was dominating my own division, but I'm definitely not. My front three this weekend was Gyokeres. I stuck by him. He bagged. Haaland, standard, captain, 26 points. I went with Voltemada. I thought West Ham away. They're stinky at the moment. The guy doesn't score or get an assist, and they lose the game. And I had Pope in goal because I'm thinking clean sheet, and they concede 3. It's just one of them weekends. Semenyo can't stop scoring. Transferred him to my team. No goal, no assist. Thanks a lot, mate. Yeah, this FPL hype, it ain't working for me. I want to have a conversation briefly. Sam said, see, that top you're rocking is lit. Which one is that? This one was out last season, bro. I told you, anything Burgundy, Arsenal, I'm a bit weak for it. I can't lie. And I like the training t-shirts because something like this was like £40, right? This is timeless. I'll wear this for years. When you go and buy a kit for like £80, £90, even £110, if you get the players version, you tend not to wear them when the new ones come out the following season. I've got loads of old kits in the drawer that I don't really wear anymore because they're last season's. The training kit's timeless and better value. So yeah, man, that's the route I go down with the merch. I know. They say stop buying merch, but I feel like, I'm helping them try and win the league. We had a lot of discussion on Saturday about Saka. And it triggered a lot of opinion, right? A lot of you were like, look, I agree with you. Saka's not playing great. Why should we not talk about it? He's supposed to be our best attacking player. He's about to sign a 300 grand a week contract. 50% of you probably were thinking like that. The other half of you were like, no, don't do it. You've got an agenda. Stop this. He's just come back from injury. And I said, at the end of the day, facts don't care about opinions. My opinion, your opinion will be outweighed by factual information. That's the beauty of football, right? That's the beauty of football. And a lot of channels might be afraid to talk about this, but I'm not. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Saka's about to sign a new deal for £300,000 a week. Aubameyang was ridiculed when his form dropped after signing that contract. So was Mesut Ozil. We have to keep the standards high, and he has to keep the standards high. This is Saka at the moment, right? Saka in the Premier League. He has scored 1 non-penalty goal in his last 16 Premier League games. 1 non-penalty goal in 16. All right. The other one was the penalty against, I think, West Ham when he got the 200th game. Also, Saka, 0 assists in his last 21 games. 21 games, people. No assists. I'm sorry. Nah, man, Jason, you're right. Big C ain't compromised like other content creators. Oh, Starboy. Listen, I love Saka. Saka's one of the best players at the club. Saka's done so much for this club when the likes of Oba and those guys have left. He took the club on his shoulders. You could even say Arteta's overplayed him to the point that he tore his hamstring and pulled the other one. I'm not taking any praise away from Saka. This guy has been fantastic for us. Let me make that abundantly clear. We love Saka. But we cannot hide from the facts. We can't hide from the facts. We had the same conversation last season about Cole Palmer. Oh, Cole Palmer hasn't scored in 14 games. You can't compare him to Saka, blah, blah, blah. No assist in 21 games. And I said this the other week, by the way. Have you seen him really create a chance for Victor Gyokeres since he's been in? Honestly. Most of the time he cuts inside and shoots. He hardly ever looks for him. So listen, no matter what you think, that, for a player of his level, that's not good enough. And I honestly think this, by the way. Arsenal haven't got a choice. they've got to give him that contract, right? It's not his fault. It's the club's fault. The club gave Havertz 275 grand a week. The moment Saka's agent walked into that room, that was going to be the starting point of that contract discussion. And I don't blame him, by the way. I don't blame him at all. If I'm Saka's agent, I'm going, well, I'm 10 times better than Havertz. So you've given him 275. So I need 300 grand a week. Now, I'm with you, Mafia Boss. I believe that Saka, get Madueke back, more rotation, allow him to not, he plays 90 minutes constantly. But those numbers have to improve. We put him on that pedestal that, a lot of people say is world class. A lot of people say he's one of the best right wingers in the world. Well, the best wingers are putting up numbers as well. That's what separates these wingers nowadays. So I don't want anybody to think I'm destroying him here. I reckon there's a lot of people in the chat today that wouldn't have known those stats. 21 games without an assist. So like somebody said as well, I've seen Gyokeres created 2 chances for Saka the other day. Saka doesn't often look for Gyokeres. So I think he needs to tweak his game a little bit. Understand that there's a striker there now. You don't always need to go on that left foot and shoot. Sometimes drill it across goal, create. So I think he needs to be rotated a little bit and take a bit of the pressure off him. I think the point of signing Gyokeres and signing Eze and these players was to say, take some of that responsibility away from Saka so we don't flog him. Again, he played 90 minutes at the weekend, So, and I honestly think he was rushed back, last season because they were panicking, thinking we can win the Champions League, getting back quickly. 876 said, Wagwan, see prayers from Montego Bay in Jamaica and, of course, the whole of Jamaica. Yeah, man, big up to you, 876. I just want to make it clear that there's no agenda. We love Saka. We just want to see him back to his best. And I think they need to change his role slightly at the club now and say, listen, you don't need to play 90 minutes every week. We can rest you some weeks. Bench him some games. Same thing happened to Gabriel Jesus, by the way. Jesus, not as much as Saka, but Jesus looked like a fantastic player. When he signed for us, they flogged him and ruined his knees, knee injuries, career mashup. Could Saka play on the left? Maybe. That's another interesting one. So listen, let's hope those numbers improve. And again, he'll go and play for England probably twice as well, which probably doesn't help either. Let's look over the game on Saturday, people. Yeah, them stats aren't nice, man. They're not nice, and like you said, Emmanuel, players like Mbeumo and that, he's at 20 goal seasons. So he's got to get those numbers up. I love Jesus in the beginning. Oh, that first season, he was fantastic, man. That first season, Gabriel Jesus was a game changer for us. His movement, his skill, he was strong for a small guy, could finish. Jesus that first year was fantastic, but the injuries have ruined him. Ashton said, what do you prefer? He scores an assist and we draw 2-2. Relax. Y'all getting on my nerves. Ashton, I didn't realise that if a player scored goals and got assists, it meant we was going to draw the game. I didn't realise that. Like, are we not able to... Is he not able to score an assist and we still win the game? You're acting like it's one or the other. I get it. We're top of the league. We're winning and you think I'm looking for a negative. But I'm just presenting you with a stat and a fact. We do have the option of winning and Saka scoring and getting assists. He missed 2 clear one-on-ones against Burnley. It's not a one or the other. So to be honest, you're getting on my nerves as well, Ashton. So hold that. Anyway. No, big up Ashton. But it's a fact, bro. Facts don't care about opinions. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about opinions. Anyway. Another fact, we won the game 2-0. Victor Gyokeres and Declan Rice. Gyokeres, man, that was his best performance. I hope he's not going to miss games this week because he looks like I thought he was going to score more goals on Saturday. I was fuming when he came off. No, big up Ashton. I like that, Ashton. I like the fact you came back with the laughing emojis. Big up yourself. Yo, spud me, G. I respect it. Oh, big up. This is what we're about here, man. You know what I mean? Information and entertainment at any given moment. Anyway, 2-0 win. 2-0 win. We saw things in that game, and I know the ops are online, in my comments when I said Gyokeres' best performance. The narrative was, oh, it's only Burnley. It's only Burnley. Why are you hyping him? I said, brother, the hold-up play, the link-up play, the movement, I think he could have scored 2 or 3. I'm gutted he came off. And I really hope he's involved tomorrow, because I looked at Burnley, Slavia Prague and Sunderland as a week where I thought he can get some goals. And like I said, for those of you just tuning in, 1,750 of you in the chat. Big up the Twitch gang as well, 27 of you. Gyokeres has missed training this morning. So whether he's involved tomorrow or not, maybe he'll be on the bench. So, yeah, he should have had 2 assists. He should have had 2 assists. What about Isak? I mean, he's injured at the moment, but yeah, his numbers... I don't think he's scored, has he, in the Prem, Isak? I'm pretty sure I saw that he's only got 1 goal. And it was in the Carabao Cup. 3 Champions League games, no goals, no assists. 4 Premier League games, 1 assist, no goals. EFL Cup, 1 goal, no assists. He's played 8 games. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist. And the goal was in the Carabao Cup against Southampton. Yeah, stinky business, man. Stinky business. They're lucky that Ekatike's been good for them. Joba said, Big C, one thing that's missed is that in that stat is how many games Saka played in a row. For those 16 and 21 games respectively, he was in and out with major and minor injuries. No rhythm. No rhythm, fuming with him, by the way. No, Joba, you are right with that, and I respect that. If you come back from a torn hamstring, which he did last season, your rhythm ain't going to be there. It's just not. It can take months to get that. Then you come back, you have pre-season, you look sharp, and then you pull the other hamstring. So I want to make that abundantly clear. Some of that criticism that I've just given to Saka is not his fault. You've torn a hamstring and pulled a hamstring because you're overplayed. So, yeah, that discussion has to go towards the manager. Waneri proved last season that he can play on the right-hand side. We could have rotated Saka more. So, yeah, but big up to you. Laser Gaming C Unit, I believe this season, I'm trying to stay calm with it. When I saw Man City win this weekend and Liverpool, I just calmed down a little bit, because every weekend, especially Liverpool, they've been dropping points and I get more and more excited. Then I saw them both win and I thought, do you know what? We've got a mountain to climb here and we're a long way from the top. We're one bad weekend away from saying they're right behind us. One weekend, one bad game, one bad refereeing decision. City win, we lose, they're 3 points behind us. No fan would be sitting there 3 points in front of City and going, yeah, I think we're going to win it. No, you'd be going, this is Pep Guardiola and that's Erling Haaland. We're so far away from where we need to be, which is why I keep saying, move in silence, keep ticking the wins off. I put in the title, in the thumbnail, this is a massive weekend for Arsenal because Liverpool play City. And we've got an opportunity. We're 6 ahead of City, 7 ahead of Liverpool. If they draw and we win, that would be what? 8 on City and 9 on Liverpool. And if one of them lost, if Liverpool lost, it would be 10. If City lost, it would be 9. Personally, see, someone asked me this earlier, and I was thinking about it. They said, okay, draw would probably be the ideal one. If one of them had to win, who would you rather won the game, right? Let's assume one of them wins. Who are the bigger threat? At the moment, you would say Haaland and City, right? Because the know-how, they've been there, done it. Pep will get back in that race somehow. At the same time, is Haaland carrying that team? And if he drops off, they might stumble. If Liverpool lost and they were 10 points behind us, I think they'd be out the title race. Personally, I think City will probably beat Liverpool. I think City will probably beat Liverpool. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. That's a good point. People say Pep never lost the title race. And that's actually a great point, when they're actually... And that's the other side, lady. Yeah, that's the other side. They're one bad game away from being 9 or 10. But what I'm saying is at the moment, it's finally balanced. I want to be sitting here at the end of the international break going, yo, we're like 8, 9 points clear. Then I'll start getting a bit excited, you know. Haaland doing the robot celebration was funny stuff. I mean, the guy is a robot, isn't he? He is a robot. Do you know what, actually? I think this is the best Haaland we've seen, probably in his whole career. Haaland, Mbappe, and Kane are having Ballon d'Or seasons. They're having Ballon d'Or seasons, those three. You go and look at the goals and the numbers those guys are putting up. They're having Ballon d'Or seasons. It'll be about who wins the trophies, the World Cup and the Champions League. And obviously, let's hope we can, interrupt those guys in the Champions League. Let's go through player ratings and the victory. I'll be honest, at half time, I was sitting there going, yeah, this is 4 or 5-0 pending. They had one shot on target, which I'm shocked when teams even have a shot on target now. Haaland's YouTube funny is good. He's a good character, man. I know a couple of people who work in the Premier League, like coaching level and stuff, and they say Haaland's a proper character. Like, he's a good guy. Curtis, would you get out of the Champions League to concentrate on the league? Absolutely no chance. No chance. Got to go for both. Got to go for both, bro. Because you just never know what's going to happen. Imagine you did that and then you didn't win the league. No, you got to go for both. It's funny, seeing this as every major club currently in a title race as a baller that drags their team through, gets brought up to Ballon d'Or, etc. But Arsenal have got no one, no elite attackers. I think with Arsenal, I think Saka's capable of dragging, even though he's not playing well. We've seen Gyokeres can pull teams through with the numbers that he's done. It's about getting them to that level in an Arsenal shirt. Listen, let's be real. Clubs have won titles without one player playing at an exceptional level. This could be a season where Gyokeres scores 17 league goals. Saka gets 12 league goals. Odegaard gets 7. It could be one of those seasons. We might not have a player that scores 28, 30 league goals this year. We've seen teams win titles with those numbers. Yeah, that's a good point. No one's really dragging Liverpool at the moment because Salah hasn't been in great form. So I'm still sticking by my prediction. At the start of the season, I said Gyokeres will score 20 league goals. It's a little bit more difficult than I thought because we're not creating for him as much as I expected. He's got 4 at the moment. I always think you've got to be close to 10 at Christmas by the halfway mark. I think he can be. I think there's 2 or 3 games left this month. There's about 7 games in December. So I think he can get 6 goals in the next 10 games. If he's at 10 by Christmas, I think he can get 10 in the second half of the season when he's settled more in the league. And I'm talking just Premier League, by the way. But it might end up 20 in all comps. Who knows? I think he'll definitely get that. He's already got 6. 13 shots, 9 on target. Let's go through the lineups. David Raya, 7 out of 10. Clean sheet, copy and paste, 1 shot on target. You can say the same thing every week. He's basically working from home at the moment. Guy's got nothing to do. You know what I mean? He's got nothing to do. Gabriel Ballon d'Or. Who knows? If we won the Champions League, he might be the one they go for. David Raya, 7 out of 10. Copy and paste. Jurriën Timber, 8 out of 10. Copy and paste. Do I even need to say anything? It's too easy. Give the whole back 4 8 out of 10. Simple as that. Not a lot to do. Not a lot to play against. Dealt with them easy. Gabriel assist was fantastic. You could put him at 8.5, to be honest. Calafiori was solid. 8 out of 10, keep it moving. You could put it at 7 because the quality of players they played against was nothing, really. Burnley's attack was non-existent. Gabriel's assist was brilliant, by the way. Whether he meant it, he was kind of falling as he did it, but a great ball. So we'll put Gabriel at 8.5 for the assist. Raya needs a deck chair. But you know what? I'll be real. I think it's about to change. Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I'm being a little bit, Raya, just give him the golden glove now. He's had nothing to do. I do think that's going to change because when you look at our fixtures, Sunderland away, I think he'll have work. After the international break, our first 3 games back, Tottenham at home, Bayern Munich at home, Chelsea away. So I think you will see a more active David Raya at Sunderland in those next 3 games. Zubamendi, I thought had a solid game, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Came off with an injury, but he has trained today, so that's good. Obviously, he's suspended for tomorrow, but he should be all right for the weekend. Eze, 6.5. 6.5 for Eze. Was all right first half. Second half didn't see him a lot and then came off. Let's be real, Eze has still not hit the... Now, Zubimendi, actually, I'm going to give an 8. I thought he played well. I thought he played really well. Eze was probably... I'm probably even being kind, giving him 6.5. He's probably a 6. We're still not seeing the Eze at Palace. Is it the system? Is it the style? Is he a little bit shy? Is he adapting to the team? We are not seeing the Eze from Palace yet. We're not. We're not seeing let it all work out. We're not seeing Ian Wright announcement videos. In fact, somebody put a comment in the chat saying... Eze has made Odegaard look even better since he's been out. I was hoping, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I mean this in a just a general football thing. I thought with Odegaard's injury, Eze's got an opportunity to grab that place in the team and force Odegaard to the bench. Right now, Odegaard walks back into the team at the moment. He walks back into the team. Do you know what I think with Eze at the moment, people, right? I think part of it is the system, but he's getting on the ball. I think Eze, at the moment, he was the shark in the small fish tank. Now, you're a fish in a very, very big ocean. Do you know what my advice would be to Eze? Because I know people from Arsenal watch this stream. My advice to Eze is embrace where you are. Eze, to me, is playing like he's shy. He's playing like a year 7 on the playground on his first day of school, and the big year 11s are standing over there, and you're a little bit quiet and you're a little bit shy. It's like, oh my God, I'm playing for Arsenal, my dream club. And bro, walk in that changing room, as you're saying, shoulders high, and say, yo, I'm here to be one of your best players. I'm here to get you over the finish line. I'm here to become a hero. At the moment, I feel like he's playing within himself. Now, sometimes that takes time. You don't just go into a new environment sometimes and become the man straight away. It might take time, you know. And also, there's probably a step up in quality. It's probably a step up in quality. Palace is not Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Gabriel, Saliba, look at all the quality players we've got. He's still probably finding his way in that dressing room and what is my position in this team? How do, you know, we've got the ball a lot more. Palace were having 30, 40% possession. We're having 60 or 70% possession. It'll take time, but we need more. Don said, I miss Odegaard. I think he might need Odegaard as well, because Odegaard is the attacking midfielder that constantly gets on the ball. Eze is the attacking midfielder that has brilliant moments. My only worry is, I hope we don't... What Pep did to Grealish, hope we don't see that with Arteta and Eze. You know, where that individual brilliance player turns into a controlled system player that doesn't seem to take chances. You know, I don't know. Let's see. It's maybe too early for that assessment, but I think Odegaard could actually help Eze being in the team. Declan Rice. Deckers is just fantastic. He really is. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. He drives this team. He's not on Patrick Vieira's level, but he is that part of this team. He is the guy that is going to drive this team forward. Goes about his business. The corner again, right on Gabriel. Bang, goal. The header, brilliant. Late arrival into the penalty era. The driving runs, the sprayed passes. This was genuinely a midfield masterclass. I don't care if it's Burnley. I don't care. They're in the Premier League. They only lost 1-0 to Liverpool. They're not as bad as Burnley's of the past. That was rice and peas on a Sunday afternoon with jerk chicken, dumpling, coleslaw. That was jollof rice. That was egg fried rice. That was rice pudding when you were a kid. I'm giving him a 10. And I don't do this often. He'd lost his aunt in the week. We said when he scored, Rice doesn't usually do that, point up to the sky like that. He said he'd lost his auntie that week, an emotional week for him. And what a way to make her proud. What a performance. That was a brilliant midfield performance. At the moment, you'd probably say Rice. I think Tonali's on, every time I watch Tonali, he seems to be balling. Gravenberch at Liverpool, brilliant. And Caicedo's brilliant at the moment as well. But yeah, Declan Rice was sensational. No, we don't want no couscous. I don't want them Declan couscous performances. That was a captain's performance. Listen, I've said it before and I've said it again. I think Rice should have the armband. If not Rice, Gabriel. But hey, that's another discussion. Rice is our engine first name on the team sheet. Yeah, he's absolutely vital. He needs to probably play nearly every Premier League game this season for us to win the league. I'm not comfortable with him not in this team. That midfield lacks mobility and power when he's not in it. So they better wrap him up in cotton wool like whenever they get a chance. Yeah, England have qualified. Arsenal need to now be saying to Thomas Tuchel, listen, we're in a title race here. Rice don't need to be starting and Saka doesn't need to be starting. Go and play, whoever. Rotate, have a look at other players. Let's go to the front three. Listen, Saka, I gave you my opinion. He missed 2 one-on-ones, 6. And I'm being kind, I think, there. Because if Eddie Nketiah missed 2 one-on-ones when he was here, I'd be ripping him apart, and we all would. If Havertz missed 2 one-on-ones, I'd be saying donkey, not good enough. So because it's Saka, let's keep them standards. No, 5.5. I drop him below 6, 5.5. 2 one-on-ones, bro. One of them he could have even passed to Eze for an open goal. 5.5, and I'm being kind. Lively in the game, but why did he play 90 minutes is my question. Gyokeres comes off with a knock. Trossard's having a really good game, comes off. Saka plays 90. Why? Why? With the game's done and dusted, take him off. Champions League game. It's like he was thinking, I've got to keep him on to see if he can get a goal. But give him a break. Didn't need to play 90 minutes. Then you're going to start him tomorrow. Then you're going to start him at Sunderland. Anyway, Saka 5.5. Some of you are giving him a 4, so I'm being kind. Leandro Trossard. Now, Trossard is a player that I'm on his case quite a lot, right? He frustrates me. But he had a very, very good game. Very good game. Great ball in for Declan Rice. Kept the ball well. Link-up play was really good. I'm actually going to give him an 8 out of 10. I was going to give him 7.5. I'll give him an 8. I thought his ball in was brilliant. I thought that was one of Trossard's best games, to be honest, up against Kyle Walker. Got bullied a couple times physically, but we knew that was going to happen. Kyle Walker's an animal. Trossard's dashed him to the floor, but when he twisted and turned, put a great ball in for the Rice header, I thought Trossard had a good game. The one thing that frustrated me in the game, by the way, I don't know if I changed it, because I think, did I give Zubimendi an 8? Zubimendi needs an 8, by the way. Zubimendi played one of the passes of the season. Left foot chip over the defence. And Trossard miscontrolled it. Oh my days, what a goal that would have been. What a goal that would have been. The ball was outstanding. And he didn't quite get hold of it. But yeah, I thought Trossard had a very good game. Victor Gyokeres, my friend, the celebration was back. The performance was back. Keep your stocks. Bitcoin was rising. Buy on the dip. When the stocks are low, that's when you buy. When the stocks rise, you can buy a new house, people. Bitcoin went through the roof on Saturday afternoon. What a performance. The hold-up play, elite. The link-up play, elite. 2 one-on-ones created, should have had 2 assists. Scored a poacher's goal. Fantastic striker's performance, 9 out of 10. Probably his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. I reckon he could have got the match ball if he'd have played second half. The game actually opened up. So it's a real shame that he came off injured. I hope he's available tomorrow. But then if he's not, just give him a break. Fantastic performance. That ball that he played to Trossard, that zinger. Man, he was balling out, man. Balling out. Fantastic performance. I told you, we got to stick by him. Stick by him, man. We've got a proper striker there. Just got to create more chances. El Pachon, people. Do you know what it is, Simon? I'm so hyped up and invested when we signed him. I've got no choice. If I do a 360 now and start criticising Gyokeres, I'm cooked because I hyped this guy to the moon and back when we signed him. So I've got to keep running with it. So I need them performances from him. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's a player there. I do. I think he looks sharper. I think he looks fitter. I think his game is improving. I think he's understanding what it takes to play in this league. We still need to create more chances for him because, again, if you look at that 45 minutes, apart from the goal, he got no service. But he gave service. You know what I mean? He needs more chances created. When you watch Manchester City, people, look how many chances Haaland gets. Clear one-on-ones. Clear one-on-ones every game. Don't get me wrong. I think Haaland's movement is better. His movement is on another planet. But Gyokeres needs those chances. And he'll get better and better. He's a striker. Proper striker, people. Stick with him. Let's go to the bench. I can barely... Oh, you know, Waneri, the 360 and shot was clean. All of the subs just give him a 6. I'll give Waneri a 7 for the driving run. That was decent. We'll give Mikel Arteta 8 out of 10. It was light work for him. And I like the fact that he took Gyokeres off, by the way, because I don't want Arteta to take those chances. Yeah, Marino actually was poor, you know. You saw the difference. Now Marino's getting a 5. He was poor. He spent that half just rolling around on the floor. You saw the drop-off. Simon, you're bang on. They live for Haaland. Manchester City know for them to be successful, Haaland's got to be successful. That means if you're a midfielder or a winger, yeah, if you got a chance to shoot, shoot, but look for him. Look for him. Look at Cherky yesterday. 2 assists. Straight away. Bang. Into him. One-on-one. Bang. He should have had a hat-trick yesterday, Haaland. Well, like I said earlier, our creative players are not creating enough for Gyokeres. We're still in that mindset that, oh, I need to try and score. Nah, use him. Lean on him. Let him score. But anyway, Marino doesn't stretch teams like Gyokeres does. Nah, he doesn't. Marino is ass. Him and Norgard need to go. Arsenal need to get a left wing and a midfielder. Yeah, I mean, Marino clearly for Spain does have talent, but we don't play him in that role. The role we play him in, he looks ineffective. Norgard for me was not a good enough signing. I remember when we signed him, all these guys were online going, oh, it's a sensible signing. Is it really a sensible signing? What's sensible about it? It was cheap. That's what it was. It was cheap. Small wages, small transfer fee, and an experienced captain. Yeah, I understand that, but it was a cheap signing. But you could have got a better player for that role. You could have got Douglas Luiz. You could have got João Paulinho. They are of a higher standard than Norgard, and they're both on loan. But I don't think Arsenal will go into the market for a midfielder. I just don't. And he loves Marino as well. I think you've just got to use Marino in a different role to get more out of him. Don't play him deep. He's not quick enough. He's not aggressive enough. You know, he looks for free kicks. Play him higher up the pitch. But at the moment, Marino's best run of form is when he played up front. Joba said, Big C, I can't wait for Madueke, Havertz, Jesus and Odegaard to come back. I think Saka, Gyokeres and Eze are looking over their shoulders would boost their levels. To be honest, I'd play Eze left wing and let Odegaard link up. Now, I just want to say 2 things about that, Joba. From a squad point of view, I agree with you. I'm looking forward to those guys coming back and just having a squad that's just bursting with options and experience and different kinds of players. What I'm going to find very interesting is Mikel Arteta. I've given Arteta some credit for things he's done this season. Things like taking Gyokeres off at half-time, because he made the mistake at Liverpool when Saliba rolled his ankle. He shouldn't have played that game, but he started it. Who knows whether that made it worse or not? Who knows? I want to see Arteta learn. You're picking better team selections. You're taking players off when they've got an injury risk. This is what you're supposed to be doing now. You're a more experienced manager. What I'm very intrigued to see, Joba, at the moment, we're winning games because his team selection is very simple. 9 or 10 of the 11 is picked before you even turn up. There's 1 or 2 positions. Apart from that, the team's picked. You put Havertz, Madueke, Jesus, Odegaard, all those guys back in the squad, he's going to have selection headache on his hands. Are you going to turn up then for a big game and he's playing Havertz instead of Gyokeres? And he's playing Noni Madueke instead, or whatever. Sometimes having too many selections can cause a headache. I think Slot has struggled this season because last year the team picked itself. Now he's like, do I play Wirtz? Do I play Szoboszlai? Do I play Isak? Do I play Ekitike? Sometimes having too many players can be a problem, but let's see how Arteta can handle that. Arteta is making use of the squad, yeah, and he needs to. Let's get the likes up to 1,000, man. There's 2,000 of you in the chat. Watson said we haven't replaced Thomas Partey, and I get that. I get that. I think we could do with another powerful midfielder to come in. I know we've got Zubimendi in the role, but I would still like to see Arsenal go and get a powerhouse midfielder. Even if he doesn't start, by the way, it could still be Zubimendi and Rice, but just to have that option, you know. I don't think Norgard answers that question. Big up Dre in the chat, bro. Hope you're well. Big up everyone locked in, man. Happy Monday to everybody who is locked in. All right. Obviously, like I said, Liverpool won 2-0 against Aston Villa. Villa were absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. And what on earth was Emi Martinez doing, man? Man just gave the ball straight to Salah and then stood there while he just passed it into the net. Villa were awful. Villa were absolutely awful. I missed the first 10 minutes. Then I watched the whole game from there, and I thought, Villa, 4 wins and a draw in their last 5. And this is how bad. They looked awful. Ollie Watkins, I stand my ground when we were linked with Ollie Watkins in that January. I said, look, we are desperate for a striker. So I get the sentiment, but I do not want Ollie Watkins. That guy is a puppy. That guy is a puppy of a striker. I'm telling you, a Labrador. You need a pit bull. You need an XL bully up front to go and win titles. Ollie Watkins, don't get me wrong, he'll get you 10, 15 goals at Villa, but not good enough. Not good enough. I'm so glad we got Gyokeres. But imagine if we could have got Gyokeres in that January, it would have been amazing. Morgan Rogers is their best player. That's the one that I would take out of Aston Villa, to be honest. So Liverpool got the win, and Man City cooked Bournemouth, so we didn't make any progress in terms of Premier League points. But this weekend's a big one, man. You know that we need to go to Sunderland to get the job done, because Sunderland are not bad, but they play tonight against Everton. So I'm hoping Everton give them a tough game. We still should beat Sunderland. I don't care if they are in good form. Needed Ivan Toney. Yeah, I would have loved Ivan Toney. Oh, Irvin, bro, honestly, I'm a skill merchant, right? The nutmeg from Kamara on Florian Wirtz. If a man does that to me, I'm turning round and just wiping him out and taking the yellow card. You can't get away with that. In his own penalty area, he puts his studs on the ball, rolls his foot forward, and nutmegs Wirtz and gets the ball as well. I'm like, Wirtz, you better turn around and just 2-foot him. You can't let him do that. Obviously, Florian Wirtz didn't do nothing. Just got megged. What a nutmeg. What a nutmeg. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Oxlade-Chamberlain training at Arsenal. Yeah, just to get a club. I mean, I don't expect him to sign for us, so I wouldn't worry about that, HR. Obviously, he was teammates with Arteta, so these things happen. Emirates Echo said, I think Noni and Jesus will create more for Victor. Yeah, they are actually like quite creative players. So maybe they will. Noni gets past his fullback quite easily as well, to be honest. So it'll be interesting. Right, let's look ahead. This is just a brief preview. We'll go over it more tomorrow. Champions League action. Arsenal joint top. Goal difference, obviously, PSG and Bayern. We are unbeaten. 3 wins out of 3. Let's be honest. We should be winning this game. Slavia Prague are 28th out of the 36. They lost 3-0 to Inter Milan. They drew with Bodo Glimt. And they did draw 0-0 away with Atalanta, which isn't a bad result. We drew 0-0 with Atalanta last season, who were always difficult away from home. But we should be beating them. You know, we should have too much quality for them, but we can't underestimate them, is what I'm saying. It's the Champions League. You can never just think that a team is just garbage and you're just going to do whatever you want. You've still got to go there and get the job done. Hopefully we can score early and then maybe take players off for the weekend. Zach said defenders are scared of Eze. They're not scared of Odegaard because he's predictable. He can't shoot, he can't dribble and run past anyone. Getting the slight impression, Zach, you're not the biggest fan of Martin Odegaard. But no, I hear you. I think clubs, they want to get close to Eze quickly because they are fearful. Leon said, Big C, love from Iceland. Big up, bro. Wakardi said, could Noni go left wing? Possibly. Atlanta are drawing a lot of games this season. I think they lost their manager, didn't they? Didn't he go to Roma or someone? Max Dowman, Anus Eze, Norgard, Waneri, White, Mosquera, Nkapie, Lewis Skelly, Raya, and Trossard. And Kenneth said, can't wait for the Dubai break. This team will be on fire. Will they get a winter break this year? I'm not sure with it being a World Cup year, whether they will give them a break. Right, let's pick a team for tomorrow. I would rotate, but how much would you rotate? Kepa didn't train today, so I'm assuming there's a problem. So David Raya in goal. Do we change the whole back four, or are we being disrespectful? You've got to rotate a little bit. You have to. And with Sunderland at the weekend. Right, let's do the... I'm playing Lewis Skelly. Do you know what, though? You could play Lewis Skelly in midfield. But there's just no way he's going to do it. Right, I'm going to attack, actually. I'm going to play a different midfield. I'm not going to play with two. I'm not going to play a double pivot. I'm going to play two attacking midfielders. Do we play Ben White? Yeah, let's play Ben... Champions League. I'm a little bit... Am I underestimating them too much? Okay. Saliba and Gabriel. I think one of them at least should have a break. Saliba was the one that didn't train. Gabriel, who do you play? I think Nkapie needs to play, to be honest. Let's play Nkapie. Do you know what? No, do you know what? I'm going to change both of them. Give them both a break. I think we can play all of them. Do you know what? Timber plays too much football as well. Rest all of them. I don't think changing that whole back four is disrespectful or risky either. I think they're good enough. How's this guy's name come up, man? You have to put Benjamin White. Benjamin White. There we go. I'm changing the whole back four with Raya in goal. That's a top quality back four, man. You can't... You've got to rest players at some stage. Saliba's been injured this season. Gabriel didn't train the other week. I'm changing them. Midfield, I actually didn't want that formation. Let me change this. I want the one with... There we go. We're going to do this. I'm playing Curtis Shaw football, people, which means we're going to attack. We're going to attack, guys. I'm going to bring you some excitement. What is going on here? Is Ethan Waneri not on the app? Ethan's not even on the app, so I can't pick him. What is going on here? You've had a stink. You've got Lincoln City players. You ain't got Ethan Waneri. What's going on? Right, basically, I'm going Eze and Ethan. We'll play on the front foot and slap him. Ethan Waneri is the other midfielder. Ethan's the other midfielder. Bear with me. Trossard. I just said about giving Saka a rest as well, didn't I? But are you going to play Max Dowman in the Champions League? All right, I'll start Saka and take him off. Marino's going to be up top if Gyokeres isn't fit. I'll go with that. I don't really love that front line, but it just shows we're weak up top, aren't we? Obviously, Gyokeres has missed training, so I'm assuming he won't play. Do we play Max Dowman on the right? I feel like after just saying Saka's playing too much football. But do you know what? I'm going to start him and take him off. I'm not playing a noose. I think this game's too much for him. I think that game's too much for him. Martinelli didn't train either, so he's not playing. Ethan Waneri's not on the app, people. So that blank midfielder is Ethan. So I'm going with two attacking midfielders. I'll start Saka, get him off after 60 minutes. Get the game won and then take... Because we want to get the game won, so we do need some quality. on the pitch. I'm not saying that Dalman isn't quality, by the way, but let's try and win the game. 2-0 up at half time. Start making changes. Leave Declan Rice on the bench. Norgard's the only. I'm not playing Rice. He's suspended if he gets booked. That Bayern Munich game, you can't afford Marino or Norgard to be playing against Bayern Munich. Yeah, the front three's not very exciting, is it? It's not very quick. We're short of options. That's the problem. You could put Marino in midfield if Gyokeres was available. I don't know. To be honest, I've got no idea what he's going to pick. I reckon he will play a bit of a different... I don't think he'll change the whole back four. I reckon he might play Gabriel or Saliba. Maybe change one of them. I think Saka will play. I think Marino will play up front if Gyokeres is out. If Gyokeres plays, he might put Marino in midfield. It's interesting. There's a lot of options. He could do anything, to be honest. HR said, not convinced we will win the Premier League. We were 50 points in 19 games in 22-23. City are too strong. Our attack is poor. I think where I'm looking at it is 22-23 City was probably better than this Man City overall as a team. You're talking about Rodri fully fit. You know, I think they still had... Did they still have Mahrez 22-23? They were better than this Man City, no doubt about it. And we're better than we were in 22-23 in terms of personnel. In terms of the attack, I don't think our attack's poor, but I think we can still go up a level. As I've said earlier on, Saka's not producing great numbers. Gyokeres is slowly improving. Eze is slowly improving, but we need more. We're still the second top goal scorers in the Premier League, 18 goals. Only Man City have scored more than us. You know, Liverpool are level with us on goals. So I get you. In 22-23, we were free-flowing and scored loads of goals. But we've got a way better squad. 22-23, we didn't have no squad depth, which cost us. Our squad depth is way better now. So... yeah, people, I'm going to round up there. Big up to everyone locked in. Really appreciate your support. I will be back on tomorrow for the watch along. Obviously, for those of you just tuned in, Gyokeres didn't train today. So we are waiting to see. Mikel Arteta's press conference is tonight at 6 o'clock, I believe. So look out for what he says. Maybe we'll do a little waffle settings tomorrow at 2 o'clock, but the watch-along will be at 4:45 tomorrow as we play Slavia Prague in the Champions League, people, with the early kickoff. And then it's Liverpool against Real Madrid. We might do a double watch-along. I'm going to redirect you to Troops, people. He's just gone live. And Zach with the late super chat. If you were a defender, would you rather play against Eze or Odegaard? I would rather play against Odegaard because physically you can impose yourself on him. And I think when I've seen players like Fabinho just you know, kick him to the ground and he don't want to know. And I don't think you can do that to Eze, you know. But yeah, that's my opinion. Big up to everyone locked in. Hit the like button, hype up the video afterwards, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all tomorrow.